Hello, everyone, and welcome in to what will be a shorter version of our Sunday morning show. I'm going to give predictions. I'm going to give some people to watch for today in fantasy and some sit-ems. But that's about it. Not going to be here all the entire time. Just going to breeze through this. As doing it solo is a little different and harder to do. Since all we do today is make picks anyway, so it's not like it's a normal show where I can just sit here and chat about everything that happened in football. So it will be definitely a shorter show early this morning at noon. And we are underway with the Bills-Jags game in the fourth quarter from London at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where we have seen two defenses play football and no offenses decide to play football. The Jags have to be concerned because they have continued to move the ball well into the Bills' side of the field and only come up with 11 points so far. So if you're Jacksonville, you got to start having questions about this offense and the inconsistency in short end situations. But at least your defense is playing hard. I mean, their defense is playing real hard. Bills too, though. Bills lost Matt Milano in this game. I can't remember the defensive tackle's name they lost. They lost one of their starting D tackles. I'm blanking. That was the first quarter of first series of the game, actually, that they lost both of the defensive tackle. And in the second series, they lost Matt Milano. Matt Milano's injury, they haven't come out with what it is yet, but it could be season-ending or at least a long-term injury. He had that pile, the scrum of people on him, and it was on his lower leg. And he was trying to, he was turned the wrong way, and they went down on his leg. He was put in the Blue Medical tent, and then a cart was driven up to the Blue Medical tent, carted back to the locker room, and then had a cast put on his leg that goes from about his ankle to a little above his knee. So they're saying it's a knee injury, but I don't know. It's going all the way down to his ankle. Could be an Achilles injury. So it's something to keep an eye on for the Bills and the entire fucking, just fans of good defensive players. I mean, Matt Milano is one of the best linebackers in the entire game. There's no doubt about it. He might not be the hardest hitting. He might not be the guy who gets everyone's attention all the time because the media doesn't talk about him, but Matt Milano is easily one of the best players in the NFL. He covers the entire field, sideline to sideline. He gets in the backfield. He stops the run. He is their Mike play caller. He is everywhere on the field. So really, really important for the Bills to get him back healthy if they can. Hopefully it's nothing major. I actually, on Monday on our last show, talked about how Matt Milano just continues to blow me away and might be the best player in the league with no one talking about him. And I hate to see him go down. Not a Bills fan, but this one hurts. Just a really big Matt Milano fan. And his impact's going to be felt. They said that the sideline reporter, I can't remember her name, Stacey Dale maybe, said that the Bills sideline was just completely energyless after he went down, and Stephon Diggs had to try and go get everybody's energy back up and talk to every single player on the bench individually to try and help them all get motivated again. So good to see Stephon Diggs step up and be a captain and a leader of this team when they need it. He's known to be a little dramatic, and he's been known to be more about himself than the team. But he stepped up and showed that his leadership skills are still there. Big-time leader at Maryland, so good to see him stepping up here for the Bills. Josh Allen just threw a pick. It was not his fault. I mean, it was, but it wasn't. It was a contested ball. Corner and receiver go up for the ball, and Williams just ripped it away from Diggs in the air. So 11-7 is the score. 13:08 left in the fourth, and the Jags now have the ball again. But they have negative 6 yards in the fourth quarter, so who knows what the fuck they're going to do with it. But anyway, all right. That's all the things about today's game so far. We'll talk about Thursday Night Football on tomorrow with Dot. We'll talk about today's game with tomorrow with Dot, as well as all the other games that I'm about to make picks for today. I do not have Dot's pick for the Raiders-Packers. We will be live before they go play football tomorrow in Las Vegas. So he will give us a quick pick before that game happens. I have mine. I will give it just so it's already out of the way, but I think it's kind of obvious where I'm going. Granted, I've picked against them twice this season, so maybe not. Anyway, let's get through the picks. I'm going to give a couple fantasy players to watch. Like I said, do something different this week. Answer any fantasy questions for anybody that pops in that wants to chat and ask questions fantasy-wise or talk about anything. We're going to talk about the Miami mishap. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go look up Miami Hurricane fourth quarter or whatever you want to look it up. Just Miami Hurricane collapse. And you'll see what I'm talking about because the Miami Hurricanes shot themselves in the foot yesterday as the number 17 team in the country in a game they should have won, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. That was worse than Notre Dame getting their ass kicked by Louisville. That was worse than Maryland deciding not to know how to play football in the second half. There were so many things that went wrong in college football yesterday, but Miami at least took the cake. So, all right, let's get to these games. We got the first one we picked. We picked this on Monday when we did our last podcast. I took the Jags. He took the Bills. I took the Jags just because they'd been in London, and the Bills weren't going to travel till late. They didn't get there until they took a red-eye flight Thursday night and didn't get there till Friday morning. So they've only been there for 3 days for the Bills. And the Jags played a game there last week. They play a game there every year. But they played a game there last week, and now they're there again. So they didn't have to travel. They're rested. So that's why I took the Jags. He took the Bills. It's 11-8 Jags with 13 to play. So who knows what's going to happen. Next Sunday, just as a reminder, there's another 9:30 in the morning game on NFL Network while the Ravens and Titans go down and play. And as they keep saying, good morning, Boogie. How are you doing this morning? As they keep saying, there will be two kings in England as King Henry arrives in England next week. What's up, Saif? How you doing? Thanks, guys, for stopping by. I know Boogie knows. Saif, if you're wondering where my buddy is, Dot, he is at an EDM music festival, so he is not here today. So I will be giving our picks for him and answering any fantasy questions. It will not be as long of a show today, but we'll be back again tomorrow anyway. So anyway, to it. Colts, Titans. I will give the spread once I find it. It is a 2.5-point favorite towards the Titans on the road in Indy. And I will be honest, that's the way I'm leaning. I'm taking the Titans, and I think they cover that spread. The Colts do get Jonathan Taylor back. EDM. Yeah, what's up, Brandon? Yeah, that's definitely, I don't know. I guess. I don't know. It's like a wellness thing. I don't know. He said they do like morning yoga and stuff, and then it's a weekend thing. So they're just doing, I don't know. He sent me a video of it last night. So, I mean, it was definitely music I've never in my life listened to. So I don't know. But he's having a good time, enjoying the woods because it's in the middle of goddamn nowhere. And, you know, they're doing whatever they're doing. So, yeah. But, yeah, that's still a thing. But anyway, I've taken the Titans to cover the spread. That pass defense did really well last week against the Bengals. Yes, the Bengals suck right now. But and their run defense is unbelievable. So I think they're going to throw fits for the Colts this week. Jonathan Taylor, as I said, is back. But Zach Moss is expected to get the heavy load of shares as they ease Jonathan Taylor back in. He signed that 3-year, $42 million deal with $26 million guaranteed. So Jonathan Taylor's fully back as a Colt, buying into the Anthony Richardson show and staying in Indy. Apparently, according to Ian Rappaport, the only reason that deal happened was because when they were getting calls from other teams Jim Irsay was being told directly that the other teams were willing to pay Jonathan Taylor, and that opened his eyes to the fact that he has a running back worth paying, as Rappaport reported. So I'm assuming that is the reason the deal got done. But good for Jonathan Taylor, good for the Colts. They at least keep a running back in the backfield that they know they can rely on and give some help to Anthony Richardson, because Zach Moss, after a good week and a half, has kind of vanished. I took the Titans. Dot actually is taking the Colts here. I don't know why or what he saw or what he's thinking, because we forgot to talk before he left. So last night while he was drinking some and at a little bit of a music show, he texted me just names of the teams he's taking. So all I know is he's taking the Colts. He does love Anthony Richardson, so he probably has a feeling he might be able to expose the Titans defense. But the Colts defense has started to look a little porous, and there's no Shaq Leonard today, so I think the Colts are going to struggle defensively, and King Henry should have a game. I could be wrong, but I'll go with Titans. It's hard to bet on Ryan Tannehill, but I'm doing it. And for anyone watching this game, man, AJ Epinesa has come out of nowhere, and he is having arguably one of the best games the defensive players had this season. So, he has been very impressive. I will give him – Anthony Richardson has blown me away a little bit, because I thought we were going to see – like, Bryce Young's look really raw. I thought that's what we were going to see out of Richardson. Richardson's like perfectly in between what Bryce Young and CJ Stroud have done. He is really good with his feet, and he's getting better each week with his arms. So I've really enjoyed what I've seen out of him for the Colts. And their offensive line isn't as bad as I expected to be. I think they were 5th in PFF ranking this week. So good for the Colts. I thought that offensive line – it's gotten a little older. Quentin Nelson keeps getting banged up, so I thought it was going to actually take some steps back, but it's been okay. So the next game we have the Falcons and Texans. We both are leaning to the Texans, who are actually the underdog. It's a 2.5-point dog on the road, so a half point on a neutral field actually in favor of the Texans. But I am full selling into CJ Stroud right now. As Brandon knows, I traded Patrick Mahomes in one league. Because I had CJ Stroud and Anthony Richardson on my bench. So I'm full selling into CJ Stroud and letting Mahomes leave on my team to improve other parts. The Falcons have started to look really bad the past 2 weeks. Granted, it is worth noting that Desmond Ridder has never lost, including college football and NFL, has never lost a home game. He's 29-0 at home. It is worth noting that Desmond Ridder doesn't lose at home. But his home sample is very small in the NFL. 5-0, I believe, including last year's maybe 4-0, including last year's 2 games he started. So, and it's not like he's out there winning the games, especially for the Falcons. It is Bijan Robinson and the defense the first 2 weeks, and it's been last year. I don't know what it was. That team was a nightmare. I don't know how he pulled off a win or two. But yeah, we're both rolling Texans. I think Stroud, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, it's been just too good. Houston has just been too good. DeMeco Ryans has his team functioning right. The defense is getting a little better each week. They're not great, but they're a mid-level defense, which is way better than what we've seen out of Houston. So I feel confident taking the Texans, and apparently Dot did too. So I'll take that. And in this game, like I said, don't start Jonathan Taylor in the last game, because I know everyone's like, oh, he's back. He's back. He's definitely on a snap count. So unless you're really desperate, which in one league I might be, I have Jaleel McLaughlin starting because that was my option. But with Kenneth Walker on a bye this week. But I'm still not starting Jonathan Taylor, even though I have him in that league. I'm going to let him sit on my bench and hope Jaleel McLaughlin can even just get like 2 carries for like 30 yards and a touchdown again, like last week, and I'll be all right. In this game, Bijan, obviously you don't even consider not starting anymore until he falls, if he falls off, obviously. But right now he's an automatic. I don't think you start Algier anymore. I've given up on that train. I've been all over him for the first few weeks, and now I'm finally swallowing my pride and saying he has vanished and gone. Cordero Patterson hasn't shown up since he's been healthy. He didn't even I don't think he got a touch last week while he was actually healthy. So stay away from him. For the Falcons, it's hard to say Kyle Pitts or Drake London right now, as Ridder has been rough. But I do feel Drake London has a little bit more of a favorable matchup this week than he did over in Jacksonville, because Tyson Campbell for Jacksonville has been all over the place. If anyone watches these Jags, he has been a top corner in the NFL right now. So Drake London might be all right this week, especially if you're hurting at running back from the 4 buys being the Bucks, Chargers, Seahawks, and Browns. That is some pretty good wide receivers there, with the Chargers, Bucks, and Seahawks all carrying top receivers. So you could probably feel safe with Drake, but I don't think Kyle Pitts is a starter anymore until he shows back up. Jonnu Smith's outplaying him at this point, or being outused. Jonnu Smith's being used more than him, so I wouldn't say outplaying him, because Kyle Pitts' talent is too good to say he's ever getting outplayed. But stay away from him. Are they going to run the ball or throw it? I want to believe in Ridder, but it's tough. See, I am a huge Desmond Ridder fan. Loved him at Cincinnati. I rooted for the Cincinnati fucking Bearcats the entire fucking time he was there, because I loved his game. And now Wisconsin, my other team, has his fucking goddamn their coach. But Ridder has, I don't know if it's Arthur Smith or if it's just a lack of the ability to throw the ball down the field. I don't know what it is, but I agree with you. They need to find their identity. And honestly, their identity needs to be more like, I think, Tennessee's. Pound the ball, and then trust your running back quarterback when you need to throw it. Treat him like Tannehill for now. Let him be the guy on third down or on passing downs when you feel comfortable passing the ball, and just let the ball be pounded otherwise. But like, Ridder can throw the ball. Just stop with these 2-yard passes. We've seen him be able to throw the ball down the field. They need to trust him to throw the ball down the field. He's got the tight end. He's got the wide receiver. He's even got a good second tight end. Jonnu Smith's not a shabby tight end. So Atlanta needs to show up and let this kid throw the ball when he wants to. Stop making the only throw options be 2 to 3 yard dunks. It's never going to make him better. On the other side, Nico Collins is a must start. I'm starting Stroud this week over Richardson. So I would say Stroud personally is a good option, unless obviously you have better. There are a few better, but right now he's one of the hottest quarterbacks in the league. And I don't feel that comfortable with Dameon Pierce. I don't know why. I haven't seen what I hope to see out of him in the second year of his career this year, so I've been benching him in all my leagues this week. But again, if you're hurting from bye or injury, he's probably going to be a must. But right now I'd be a little skeptical on him, so I got to keep an eye on. Panthers-Lions, the next one. I'm not going to dwindle in this game. Lions, we both have the Lions. They're an 11-point favorite, I think, or 9.5-point favorite at home. I would say if Bryce Young wasn't starting and this was Andy Dalton, I actually think this is a good game. Not that Bryce Young is going to be a bad quarterback, but right now he just doesn't have the confidence. He doesn't have the command of the game. Dalton has the command. Dalton can throw the ball down the field. We saw what Adam Thielen looked like with Andy Dalton. We could see what Jonathan Mingo could become with Andy Dalton. I think Bryce Young, they gave up, as Dodd has said a few times, they gave up too much to let Dalton start, but it is the move to make, because you want Bryce to get comfortable, not feel all this pressure and overwhelming continual losses, because here comes another one. It is what it is for the Panthers. The Lions should roll high. They're getting close to getting back Jamison Williams. I think he was a 6-game suspension. I think. I can't remember. It could have been 6 or 8. But they're getting close to getting him back. And if they get him back, this offense, if he actually takes the step we all hope. I think, like I said, I think Bryce Young has all of the tangibles to be a superstar quarterback. But I think he was a little more raw coming in than Stroud. I still think he has some things to work on in the passing game and under pressure, because he was behind a great offensive line at Alabama, one of the best in college football. And now he's behind arguably one of the worst, and he has no run game. So he has nothing to rely on, because they keep using Miles Sanders. They need to realize the reason the run worked last year was because Donta Foreman and Chuba Hubbard complement each other. Now they have 2 running backs that don't complement each other, and Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders. So it's not going to work. But give Frank Reich another offseason, and I think they'll get the running back room fixed. And then this year in the offseason and the draft, just get this kid some protection. Draft him some offensive line. Bryce Young has all the talent in the world. I know he's small and people give him a lot of shit for his size, but I think he'll take the step to be a superstar. So, but yeah, we're both rolling Lions. I don't know if they cover the spread because it is very Detroit Lions to make this a way closer game than it needs to be. We could see a Jared Goff pick. We could see, David Montgomery fumbles. Anything that the Lions can do to keep games close, they tend to do. So, what are you doing? I don't know if I see the Lions covering the whole 9.5 today. Would you stop? All right. So the next game is Ravens Steelers. This is my lock of the week. I'm taking the Ravens. Cloud is, I don't know. She gets daily walks, and I started giving them to her at night. So she's now having a hard time adjusting to not going in the morning. So she annoys the crap out of me every day. And for like the first 3 hours that I'm like actually up and about. So, and then she kind of gives up. And then at night when I get her ready to go, she gets all more excited because she's like, I didn't think we were going to go today. But then she gets to go. So, yeah, she's up in my face all the time now. Anyway, Ravens Steelers. This is my lock of the week, taking the Ravens. I know there's easier games like the Dolphins, but I like to make my locks of the week a little tighter, and I feel very confident in Baltimore. And thanks, guys. I know she is a beautiful creature. She's a pain in the butt sometimes. Like, she's terrified of cooking. Like, if I cook, like turn on the stove, turn on the oven, anything, it makes her so scared that she'll like pee on the floor immediately. And then she tries to run and hide in a corner of the house somewhere because she's so scared. I don't know why. She's never been burnt. I've had her almost her whole life. But she's terrified of the stove and oven. So I don't know. It's weird. But she's adorable. And she is a wonderful dog other than that. But anyway, I'm taking the Ravens. Kenny Pickett's banged up. They said he's going to be limited on mobility, which one of the best things he has right now because he looks like crap is his mobility. And they have a running back crisis considering Jaylen Warren is the better running back, but they keep trying to force Najee Harris to be the guy. And the Ravens just continue to look good. They've had, their down game against the Colts. They tend to always stumble against the team they shouldn't. But I think they're going to come out here better. A really phenomenal coach and John Harbaugh is going to come out and realize if they win this game, they're going to start the season at 4-1 with 3 wins against division opponents, all 3 on the road in Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh. If you can get 3 division wins in the first 5 weeks and all of them be on the road already, that is huge. And I think the Ravens are going to capitalize. And I love Zay Flowers in today's matchup. For anyone in fantasy that's like, he had a down week last week, I don't think that's going to happen this week. I think he's going to destroy the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I'll probably go out and make me eat my words as I'm starting him in DraftKings and every fantasy league I'm in, but I'm rolling with him, and I don't feel confident in any Steeler, except for their defense. Maybe they might get Lamar a couple times, might pick up a sack or two. You could be good for a TJ Watt fumble. Josh Allen just ran into Josh Allen after Josh Allen slid. I know that was a really fun sentence. I love this matchup just because I love, Josh Allen's the best defensive player for the Jags, at least at pass rush. So it's fun to watch him go after the other Josh Allen. I did miss a touchdown. Well, I didn't miss, but I didn't comment. There was a touchdown from Travis Etienne. 18-7 is the current score of the Jags. Bills with, I think it's at 8 minutes to go before the replay. I don't know. I'm waiting for the replay to end. This has also been the highest penalized game I think I've seen all season. There's been 16 penalties accepted. There have been more than that called. So it has been a very ref-oriented game. Rich Eisen has commented on the refs interfering in the game like pretty much every other play. Yes, this is a very abysmal performance. So the thing about the Patriots, and I know this is the Bills, but when the Patriots go to England, they go on Wednesday and get the little extra couple days. And I feel like that's the best play because they left Thursday night on a red eye. They didn't get there till really early Friday morning. And I just don't think you give your body enough time to rest up because you still have to get ready for the game and prep mentally and study film. And I just don't. I don't think you gave themselves enough time to rest up. I mean, it hurts that they lost Matt Milano in this game, and he is the best player on the team defensively. I know Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer are special, but you come into the game with Trey White already out for the year, and Matt Milano might be out for the year now. These turf fields. I mean, I know his injury wasn't turf. His injury was an entire scrum rolling up his leg, but these turf fields suck. But this one plays very fast. Tottenham built this field for their soccer team, Tottenham Hotspur, and they named the stadium after the team. And this field plays very fast, so I'm kind of shocked to see this game be very defensive. Because normally Jesus Christ, Josh Allen's going to get, yeah. There's another penalty. Yes, way too many variables to bet on across the pond. I had a safe, whatever the fuck they're called. I bet on Thursday night and I lost, but I got the money back type bet thing. So I put that bet back on the Bills and Jags game today. I didn't do anything get risky today because again, London. So I took, Diggs to score, ETN, and Ridley to score. And obviously I don't remember who scored. It's been Zay Jones, ETN, and I had Diggs. Yeah. So I'm just missing Ridley, but oh well, not really that big a deal. It was a free, whatever they're called. Holy crap. This, I meant to mention this when I was covering it when I first went live. The Bills fans have made this a home game. I am blown away by how good Buffalo traveled for this game. Because, normally when you go to a London game, you'll hear whatever. You'll hear a couple of fans from the home team, and then you'll just hear London fans chanting London shouts, like soccer chants, and just getting into the game of football. This has been almost like you're watching a game at Orchard Park. This has been a very Buffalo crowd, and I'm very impressed by the Buffalo fans. I know they're passionate. Everyone knows how passionate and crazy Bills fans are. I mean, they're fucking psychotic. But this, to travel over there for, a week 5 game, it was really impressive. There was a point where I couldn't even hear Rich Eisen and Kurt Warner. And I was like, all right, I guess just go with the game. No commentary. I agree with you, Brandon. I got to give it to them. They really showed up. And I'm really happy to hear Rich Eisen and Kurt Warner in a booth. I love Rich Eisen. He is my absolute favorite football guy. So I absolutely love hearing him in a booth. And we'll hear him next week because the game's NFL Network again. He said he's staying there. Is that a sack of Josh Allen by Josh Allen? How is that a penalty? Dude, these flags, man. I can't handle it. Just let them play football. Oh, all right. I took the Ravens. Dot also took the Ravens. He has no confidence in the Steelers either. I honestly think Kenny Pickett might be one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. I have more faith in Desmond Ridder than I do Kenny Pickett. The fact that the quarterback, as he's going down, is literally pointing to the ref asking for a penalty is point proof that he's fine and didn't need a fucking penalty to protect him. I can't stand this crap. Anyway, Patriots Saints. This is my hardest game to call for the week. I have no fucking clue. I stared at this for 10 minutes. I just stared at the two teams, went through the injuries, went through the rosters. The Saints are underperforming in all aspects of the game of offense. They have no offense with all the talent around them on offense. I'm assuming it's just Derek Carr getting used to the system. I don't know. But it has been very bad. And the Patriots, honestly, they're a lot better than their record and their performances have shown. The problem is they have zero secondary health. They're missing all 3 starting corners. 1, 2, and 3 are on the IR. And 1 is questionable for the game. The number 4 is questionable for the game. They traded for J.C. Jackson to go get themselves a top corner. J.C. stands for just can't cover. So I don't know. I don't know if J.C. Jackson's really going to help them any. But me and Dot both took the Patriots. I was on the fence for this for the whole morning. I was staring at it. They are a 2.5-point favorite. Would not be shocked to see them lose this game. But in the end, Yeah, Buffalo, Gabe Davis touchdown. And there's a flag again. I think they just think they're supposed to throw flags. I don't know. I really don't. I don't have a clue. But yeah, I guess the hit maybe. I don't know. No, it was a hold. No, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, it was a hold. Okay, because the score was still on the fucking scoreboard cloud, and now there's another flag, and then another flag. Holy Lord! I mean, this is going to be pass interference. You could see it as he was catching the ball. There's a Gabe Davis touchdown. They just went right back to him with Tyson Campbell on coverage. This is unbelievable. The NFL has to address this fucking ref. He has had more screen time today than Trevor Lawrence. I honestly cannot believe how much these fucking refs have thrown a flag. Unbelievable. But I'm taking the Pats. He's taking the Pats. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable in any starters today. The Patriots defense could come back to life after a really bad week last week against the Cowboys where they were just roasted the entire game. Bill Belichick isn't one of those guys you see after the most embarrassing loss of his career come out and get just beat again. So that's the reason I came down to the Patriots, and I think their defense would potentially step up today is because I don't see Bill letting this I don't see Bill letting this go. What happened last week be a thing. He's going to put that in the rearview mirror real fast. The next one, again, another game I don't really need to stay on. Dolphins, Giants. I think Jalen Waddle will get in the end zone in this game. I do think the Dolphins beat the shit out of the Giants. I don't think this is close. I don't know if Jalen Phillips is playing. I haven't checked their injury report. That does kind of make a difference because of how bad Daniel Jones has been protected. If Jalen Phillips plays, the Dolphins are going to absolutely steamroll them worse than I thought. Because their pass rush in Miami wasn't there last week without their best pass rusher. He is not playing. I just pulled up the injury report. But I do 100% believe the Dolphins get back on track after a bad performance against the Bills last week and roll. And I wouldn't be shocked to see Achane or Achane, Hill, and Waddle all score touchdowns. I mean, I don't know. Is Barkley playing? I don't think so. I don't have a clue. I didn't actually check their injury report. I just saw Giants, Dolphins, and was like, nah, no chance. Let's see. No, he's not playing. I mean, Andrew Thomas is out. Shane Lemieux is out. And John Michael Schmitz is out. So left guard, left tackle, and center are all out. I don't know. Maybe if they throw the ball to Jalen Hyatt like he's Tyreek Hill, just let him run down the field and throw the ball behind the defenders. They could stay in the game. Let Daniel Jones run a lot more. I don't know. I don't think there's a chance. But, I mean, if you get to Tua, if you make Tua uncomfortable, you saw what the Bills did last week. Make him uncomfortable and he doesn't play well. So if they can get to Tua, I think they could win the game. Their defense just needs to be able to get home. We saw a little bit of pass rush in their embarrassing game against Seattle last week. They didn't get to Geno much, but they got home a couple times. Matt Breida, oh Jesus, or D-Hop and a half PPR flex. Oh boy. I'm going to say D-Hop. I think he'll have probably about 6 catches for about 72 yards today. I think D-Hop will. I'm not thinking a touchdown. I'm not feeling it. But the Colts do really struggle in the outside cover corners. Their perimeter corners are really bad. Kenny Moore is their only good one, and he plays the slot. So you won't see him against D-Hop. You'll see him against Nick Westbrook. So I will roll with D-Hop in that matchup. Matt Breida, I just feel like the Giants can be down way too fast to use Matt Breida too much. Like if Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle or Tyreek Hill and Ashawn go off, there's just no Matt Breida usage at all. So, I feel more comfortable with the Titans because I think no matter what, even if they lose that game, they'll be in that game. But yeah, In my opinion, I would definitely go with Hop, even though I say don't trust Ryan Tannehill. All right, the next game. This is the game I think Brandon, as a Cowboys fan, and if Boogie's still here as an Eagles fan, one will be happy, one will be angry. Our next game, we picked Eagles-Rams. Dot took the Eagles. Dot's just rolling with the Eagles this year right now. This is my upset of the week. I'm taking the Rams. I think Matt Stafford with Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp and Tutu Atwell all in the field this week, I think they're going to have a really good game offensively. And I still have yet to see what I want to see out of the Eagles defense. Yes, it's in LA at 4 o'clock. I know. But yeah, it's in LA at 4 o'clock Eastern time, Brandon. And I feel Cooper Kupp's playing today. And with him and Puka on the same field, I can't stop thinking of what this offense can do with Sean McVay as the offensive guy. I just, like, my brain is like just all over the place because not only do you have those three receivers, you have Higbee and Kyron Williams to throw in. It's just so much, and I'm really excited to see this game. That's actually my favorite game this week, besides Sunday Night Football. But Dot went with the Eagles, but this is definitely my upset of the week, and I don't know how I feel about Puka this week for fantasy people. I would say he still gets his touches. They said they're not going to lower his snap count, so I'm curious how they're going to fit him in with Kupp. I don't know if it's going to affect the relation, like the targets too much with Kupp back, or if Tutu's going to see less targets, or maybe Higbee. I don't know how it's going to go. So I would say for the first couple of weeks, we wait and see what happens, but I'm rolling with Puka in my lineup. So take him as a risk because, Stafford's going to look at Kupp anytime he's in trouble. It's just that connection's never going to go anywhere. Oh, Calvin Ridley with a beautiful ball on the outside. Our next game is Bengals-Cardinals. Me and Dot went opposite here after going the same all the 1 o'clock games. We went opposite on this. Well, no, we didn't. Colts-Titans. Sorry. But on this 4 o'clock game, an embarrassment. Yeah, for a team that we all thought was dead in the water. Like, no one thought Tutu Atwell was going to take the next step this year. No one was like, Tutu's going to be a great receiver this year. He's been pretty damn good. And no one saw Puka coming. A BYU wide receiver out of nowhere, but he's done everything right. He's such a cool dude, too. Like, if you see his interviews and just listen to him, he is just such a cool guy. And the video that came out of his girlfriend watching because she wasn't at the game, watching his first touchdown catch last week was so fucking cool to see. So much emotion and joy. It was just really cool. Really happy for the Rams to get it straight. But the Cardinals-Bengals, Dot went Bengals. I don't know why, but I love Josh Dobbs, and I'm rolling with the Cardinals. It's in Arizona. Not that makes much of a difference. They're not great at home historically. But right now, they have been better on every aspect of the game of football than the Bengals have been all season. They kept it competitive with the Niners last week. We saw they beat the Cowboys, and they should have beat the Commanders and the Giants. They just choked it away at the end of the game. And the Bengals have shown nothing. They have shown absolutely nothing. Yes, this is the right game. This is the perfect game for them to get back on track and start throwing the ball to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd and for Joe Mixon to finally show up. But I'm rolling Arizona. Until Cincinnati shows something, I can't keep believing in them. I know a lot of people they'll be fine. They'll right the ship really fast. I need to see it now. The AFC is getting too competitive for me to just believe in a team blindly. And if they lose this game and the Ravens win, they're going to be too far out, in my opinion, to win the division. Especially because if the Ravens win today, they go 3-0 in the division, which is just a massive step. Yeah, ETN that was a beautiful outside zone run on the left side. That was just beautiful. And kept his balance. That was beautiful. 24-13, pending extra point. So 25-13. So, backbreaker for sure. 2.5 minutes-ish left. So, yep. Should be a win for the Jags, which makes things interesting. I mean, they've got to feel the pressure. Their whole division's 2-2. They've got to feel the pressure. And Buffalo, this is just what I always say. You can't people will go, oh, Buffalo's, offense didn't exist and they started to look like they weren't the same anymore. As you said earlier, the jet lag and whatnot, the travel to London, these London and German games, they're not to be taken with a full fucking, this is what the team really looks like. This is just that travel crap. It really throws it off. I don't like them. I actually think it's funny when the teams do better the week after they get back. Like teams have a winning record when they get back from England. I think that's kind of funny. But yeah, I'm not buying into the Bills being, having problems offensively again. I think they'll come back next week if they play next week. I don't know. Yeah, Steelers, Packers are the only buys next week. Yeah, they play the Giants. Yeah, perfect game to come back and get right. Yeah, I mean, so for the Bills, it depends. For me, my concern for the Bills now comes down to what is Matt Milano's injury? Like, that is my only concern for the Bills coming out of this game is what is Matt Milano's injury? Because if they lost him and Trey White, they might be in trouble defensively moving forward. Unless A.J. Epinesa can just continue being God level like he has today, but I don't see that being a consistent thing. The next game, Jets, Broncos, I don't have a fucking clue. I said it earlier to myself when I was talking myself into this game. If Sean Payton loses this game, it looks really bad for his Nathaniel Hackett comments in the preseason. Like, it looks really fucking bad. But if the Broncos lose this game, it's the most Bronco thing we can see all season. So I don't know. This fucking game is a shit show. It's like watching the Bears and Broncos last week, and now it's like we get the same thing all over again, but with a good defense on one side of the ball. But like if Zach Wilson comes out and looks like he did last week against the Chiefs, maybe we get a good Jets game. I don't know. I rolled Jets. I don't fucking – I feel like they're out to prove something to Sean Payton. I don't know. I don't know if they have the talent to prove something to Sean Payton, but prove something to him. Yeah, I know. It's like what they did against the freaking Chiefs 2 years ago in the playoffs, where it was like right before the 2-minute warning, Josh Allen just drove down the field in like 4 plays. And that's exactly what just happened with 2nd and goal, like the 3 in 2 seconds of time. Oh man. And Trevor Lawrence is looking up like, come on, guys, really? But I went Jets, Dot went Broncos. Who knows? I mean, this is a toss-up. I went opposite of Dot just to be opposite here at this point. Maybe the Jets win this. I don't know. Breece Hall is apparently no longer on a snap count. Take that for what you may. I don't know if that means anything anymore. Dalvin Cook claims he's fully ready to go and prove that he's a top back again. He feels great. Again, take that for what you want. Garrett Wilson's the only one I actually look forward to seeing in this game. On the Broncos side, since Sauce doesn't travel the field, it's just whoever is staying on that side of the field that I don't like. So it's either going to be Sutton or Judy. One of the other ones is going to have a great game. I don't know which. But I don't like this game at all. The next game, Chiefs-Vikings, this is real easy. We both went Chiefs. I think the Vikings might be, and they're in the end zone. Josh Allen rushing touchdown, 20-25 maybe? Tyler Bass is always kind of a question mark. There you go, 20-25, 2:11 to play. Unless I'm seeing my screen wrong, though, it looks like they have 0 timeouts. So I guess you got to go one side. You still have the 2-minute warning, but that's the only clock stoppage you would have. Yeah, it does look like 0 timeouts. So I guess they have to go one side here. Josh Allen just moved to 3rd all-time for rushing touchdowns by a quarterback at 41. He's still 34 behind Scam Newton. But he's moving his way up the board. He's now 4 behind Steve Young. Anyway, Chiefs, look, I think the Vikings are a bottom 5 team in the NFL. I think the Chiefs are going to expose them. No Taylor Swift there this week. I did say on Monday, and I know Chiefs fans got upset on my Twitter and shit that I said it, but I think Taylor Swift's a distraction. Brandon probably remembers it better than most of us. But when Jessica Simpson was at Tony Romo Cowboys games, the Cowboys offense was lackluster because there was like just an energy that wasn't there on the sideline. It was all distracted elsewhere. And I felt that last week when they played the Jets. I did not feel any focus on the game from anyone. I don't know if it was just because the media wouldn't shut the fuck up about Taylor Swift or if it was legit just a distraction to the actual team. So I think they're going to thrive without her there this week in Minnesota. The next game, Sunday Night Football, the game of the week, maybe the game of the season. I know a lot of people are writing off Dallas in this game, saying, oh, the Niners have their number, the Niners have their number. Both games the Niners have beat them in the past 2 seasons have been one possession, close, well-thought-out games, start to finish. I don't think that's changing here. Brock Purdy is not an elite quarterback. He's just a quarterback that takes care of the fucking football. Let's be as real as possible about it. So I think this is going to be a very competitive, very good game. I think Dallas could easily win this game. I know people think I'm nuts. I'm taking the Niners because they're at home. I think they will have just a slight edge at home, playing at home. They're always good there at Levi Stadium. I think they're going to be turnover free again. But you never know with the pressure to Brock Purdy from Micah Parsons and company. Micah's banged up coming into today, but I've heard he's not on a snap count. So I think this is going to be a good game for the Dallas defense. I do think it's interesting. Dan Quinn said he spent all week learning how to, teaching the defense, different formations, and how to adjust for the shifts that Kyle Shanahan offenses go through, because if anyone watches them, they're always in motion. Somebody's always moving around. And Dan Quinn spent the whole week focusing on how to cover that. I think that makes this game a lot more interesting. And I think yes, exactly. I think if the Cowboys can get to Brock Purdy, if Micah Parsons can get just 2 sacks and then just put a couple hurries on him, and the couple of defensive tackles that are pretty decent at sacks, and the other defensive linemen have been good at sacking the quarterback this season, because you have a plenty. I know Micah gets all the credit, but they have plenty of pass rushers. If Dallas can just make Purdy uncomfortable, all they have to do at that point is just get Christian McCaffrey contained. That is the big difference, because the reason they lost to Arizona is simply, Dak wasn't great in the Arizona game, but they let James Conner control the game. So if the Cowboys can focus on shutting down Christian McCaffrey, the pass rush will take care of the rest, and I think the Cowboys win the game. But I'm taking the Niners because I need to see them stop an elite running back. I need to see someone stop Christian McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk before I pick against the Niners. I don't care if they play the Eagles, the Packers, the Cowboys, the Chiefs. I'm taking the Niners until I see someone stop this team. But I think this is going to be a very good final possession wins it type game. I don't think the people who are saying, oh, Dallas wins by 10 or loses by 10 or 14 or Dallas isn't close and Dak cost them the game. I think all of them don't watch football, because the Cowboys, as much as I hate to admit it, besides the game against Arizona, the Cowboys have been very fucking good this season. And people are like, well, Dak's numbers aren't great. He hasn't had to be. Why does he – his numbers don't have to be phenomenal if the system is working around him. He just has to do what he's doing. And then last week, he did what he had to do and took down the Patriots defense. Appreciate you, Camel. How you doing, buddy? But I don't know. I'm not a Cowboys fan. Brandon knows that I fucking root against them every single game. But I 100% can't stand – and I don't root against them because I hate them. I hate Jerry Jones, and I can't stand listening to Michael Irvin and Skip Bayless. That's the reason I don't like the Cowboys. It's not that I have anything against the team. Those 3, Jerry Jones, Skip Bayless, and Michael Irvin, make them unbearable. But otherwise, honestly, if you look at the roster, look at the way they play, look at the way McCarthy is controlling this offense, yes, it's not as exciting as everyone wants it to be, but it's doing its job and winning them games. The game of football is winning games, not doing what the fans want in fantasy fucking football. You can always message me on the Doctor of Wumbo Twitch, and I'll see it. I'm not great at paying attention to this one. But, I'm just slight edge to the Niners at home. But I would not be shocked to see Dallas win this game. I will not turn on social media or Fox, because if they win this game, because I don't want to see Michael Irvin or Skip Bayless. But otherwise, I do. I think the Niners should win this game, but I think it should be a very close, very well thought out game. And then, like I said, Dot didn't send me Monday night because we'll be live before Monday night tomorrow, but I'd taken the Packers tomorrow. We didn't look great against the Lions, but we haven't looked as bad as the Raiders have looked all season. I think the Raiders, honestly, I said the Vikings are bottom 5. I will be honest. I think the Raiders are the worst team in football. They have no defensive talent. And Josh McDaniels looks like he has no idea how to run an offense. So, yeah, I think they're the worst team in football. So I think we'll be all right. Reckon the Jags will see out the last 2 minutes. Well, Buffalo has no timeouts. So if Doug Peterson's smart here on 3rd and 6, you run the ball. I know he wants a first down, but you run the ball. Say that takes 4 seconds, minute 12, then you get the 36-second or 35-second clock. You'll have like 35 by the time the punt's off and caught. You'll have like 38 seconds left. I don't think the Bills could put up a touchdown in 38 seconds. I mean, I'm going to be here for this 3rd down, and then I'm going to try and see if there's anyone to raid out on Twitch because football is about to start. This game is literally going to the start of football. I appreciate you guys so much hanging out and chatting. Brandon, Boogie, everybody else. The Fantasy Question on YouTube. We love you guys. We thank you so much because Dot being away, doing it solo is hard because you kind of just talk to yourself unless chat's going. So the fact that chat was going made this a lot easier. But there you go. Minute 6 with 35 seconds on the play clock. So they'll punt the ball with about 30 seconds left. Catch the ball after about a 6-second hang time. 20 seconds left. Sack at the end of quarter 2. I don't remember. You watching? No, I have not. I will be 100%. I've been too fucking busy. As much as I want to watch the Rugby World Cup because we have it on Peacock, which is a streaming service here. I don't know if you have it in England. Because Kiwi doesn't have Peacock in New Zealand, so that made me realize some streaming services just don't exist in other countries. We have it on Peacock here, but I have not watched a game of it, regrettably, because I do love watching some good old rugby, but I just haven't kept up. But I'm looking for someone to raid. We got Grizzly still live, so we're going to give Grizzly some love. But I appreciate you guys. We'll be back tomorrow night at 8 p.m., Me and Dot will both be here. We will both be talking about all the crazy shit that goes down in today's football games. I will be giving an injury update on Matt Milano. Anyone wants to talk football, Discord, Facebook Messenger, Reddit, whatever. Not Reddit. Facebook Messenger and Discord. I will be glad to talk football as it happens because I love talking football, and sometimes a lot of my friends don't like football. So I wind up spending the day just watching it and talking to myself. But we're going to raid Grizzly. I did not know he was going to be live today. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much for coming through. It meant a lot to me. Made today a lot easier. But we will be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time, right before the Packers game, which I'll be watching while we stream. So you'll have to actually get to see what a Packer fan looks like as they watch their team play football because we're a weird breed. But anyway, love you guys. Thank you so much, Boogie, for the sub. I didn't see it. Shit, I'm so sorry. I appreciate you to no end. Thank you, and goodbye, guys.